The rear axle is put together, and Dave has already got some link mounts on it. We cut all the old suspension mounts off of the frame. We're just doing some cleanup on the frame. Dave's gonna get this thing underneath here and start looking at where the links are gonna go. Hopefully tomorrow, the suspension on the rear will be figured out and the front will be almost figured out, and we should have some big shocks here tomorrow to bolt in. This is what's so great about coming to a place like the Off-Road Connection. These guys know how to work on stuff, and they aren't scared to jump right in there. We literally had 5 different projects going on the vehicle at any one time today. It's way more efficient than when it's just Dave.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. Thank you, helper, friends.
Morning, Dave.
We dominated yesterday, and then we partied hard last night.
Well, we didn't really party hard, but we stayed up really late hanging out with all of our buddies in Alabama.
That was so much fun. We did a whole bunch of almost things yesterday.
We got a lot of work left to do. This front axle needs to be under the front of the truck. The rear axle is under the truck, but we got to finish the links. And then as soon as we're all done with that, then we'll get some rest tonight. We're not staying up late with our buddies.
I am. We want to totally finish one end of the truck, but looking at the front end and finding out there's all sorts of variables in the way. So we're trying to figure out how far forward we can go with the axle. But I think what we're gonna do is just throw the housing on jack stands so we get a real visual of it and see what kind of up travel we can get and what problems we want to deal with and what ones we are gonna have to live with, so.
We are trying to remove this corner of the front frame rail and the front bumper and the front radiator support, and then hopefully we can build some tube work back in to support the radiator, but it still allows the tire full range of steering.
We got the lower link mounts all done. We got the axle to this point yesterday. This morning I got the lower link mounts on the frame. We can set the axle centered in the frame there and then start figuring out where we're gonna go with our upper links to triangulate it. So cutting off these temporary supports for it right now and get these lowers in and we'll figure it all out from there. All right, we got all the links done there and the suspension is cycled. We've got our full bump figured out and we're ready to put some shocks in. These are Fox 2.5 air shocks. These are pretty simple because you just got to mount one thing rather than doing like a spring and a shock. I'm gonna compress these all the way, figure out what cross members we need to do, weld some brackets and move on to the front. So should have this thing on its wheels before the end of the day. We're doing a single-ended, full hydraulic steering on this setup. This is from PSC. It's got a 3-inch ram. The space is getting pretty tight up here, but we're gonna be able to make this work. We're getting close. We're almost ready to redeem ourselves.
Tomorrow's our day, Dave.
I think we're gonna fit in this time.
We're gonna throw this rock viper through the woods like a snake.